Hi! It's been so long since the last time I recorded a video for you, and today I wanted to do so very intentionally for various reasons that I'm about to explain why. So usually what happens is that every Monday or every Tuesday I email you with updates, with announcements, with things that are due for whatever week, etc., right? As you know, last week I was playing around with Moodle, and so as I was doing that, I was rethinking what I felt was important for this class, looking forward to whatever time we have left. And by the time I ended with the materials, it was already late on Friday. So I wanted to email you on Saturday morning, but then I thought to myself, for my own rules, do not look at my email over the weekend because I understand how important it is to take time for myself, to rest, to take a break, and I just didn't feel it was ethical of me to do that to you. So instead, what I decided was to wait all weekend and tell you on a Monday what was required of you and what's coming. So the first thing that you may be noticing is, didn't she have time to go fix herself before recording a video? And the answer is yes, probably. Every time I record a video, I usually take the time to shower and do my makeup and do everything else because I feel that is my way of showing up responsibly and as an adult, right? But I feel, especially given the last conversations that I've had with many of you, I felt in my heart that I needed to do something different. So today I'm showing up on a Monday wearing my sweatshirt and my boxing gear because, as you can probably see, I am about to go boxing in my own gym, and I'm about to take care of myself. Why? Because I think it's important. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've been running, trying to grade, trying to catch up with everything that's going on, meeting with my advisors, planning for curriculum, attending to multiple meetings, and I've eaten very, very badly. And it's not a fitness thing, it's a health thing. When you don't have time to eat, even though you're working from home and your fridge is right there, that should be a red flag. And it wasn't for week number 1, and it was not for week number 2. But then all of a sudden I was like, what are you doing? What is the purpose of teaching about equality and teaching about humanity and teaching about justice if I am not willing to do just that in my own life? And I'm not talking about dropping the ball and forgetting about everything. I'm talking about putting your needs first. And today, I think that my needs are, I need to go do some exercise because I haven't been able to exercise for the sake of working. And I'm about to do that. And so this is my way of giving you permission to do the same. If you have the opportunity to just drop everything right now and go take care of yourself, do that. And then come back in the evening when you are in a better headspace to continue schoolwork. Because, as you know, finals are coming, and finals are always stressful. And this semester in particular, I think it was even harder than last semester. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the pandemic. I don't know if it's the fact that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? They keep telling us that we're going to be over these things soon, and yet I'm still getting emails letting me know that my advisors are still struggling with it. I still get emails from you letting me know that you are facing anything, you name it, from evictions to gun violence to family losses to stress to overwhelmed to having to take 22 or 23 credits because of, I don't know, some scholarship that you took. Whatever the reason is, a lot of my students are struggling, and the truth is a lot of my colleagues, myself included, are struggling too. So I wanted to make a video that was honest, and in honor of that honesty and that transparency that I've always had with you, I just want to briefly tell you what's coming. So what's coming is that we have 2 assignments left. 2. Not more than 2. And we have about 3 weeks to complete those 2 assignments. And what's going to happen is, after I go box, and after I finish grading what I have left for my other 3 classes, I'm going to go back to this class, and I'm going to go into every single one of your assignments, and I'm going to go and see every single one of your comments, and I'm going to count every single one of your money, and I'm going to catch up, and I'm going to let you know who among all of you is done with this class, okay? So assume you have 2 assignments coming. Both of those assignments are video assignments. Why? because I don't think you have the brain space to write anymore, and because I prefer quality over format, and because I think that if I make you record yourself, whatever you say is going to be potentially more meaningful than having you write a 20-page essay that really all it's gonna do is have you pull all-nighters because you just don't have the right focus or the bandwidth to sit down and write. So both assignments are video assignments. If you have enough money, if you have submitted everything, if you feel strongly about the work that you have submitted, you only have to do one. If for some reason you had a rough start, you've been missing work, A, you can still submit missed work under week 14. Please take advantage of that opportunity. But B, then that means that maybe I don't know really if you have learned what this class has to offer, so I may still need you to complete 2 assignments for me. So whether you are in group 1 or group 2, you have 2 things at most to do. So I'm gonna ask you that whatever it is that you have left, which I will announce by tomorrow at the latest, I'm gonna ask you that you submit the best quality you have. So I've designed this class with so many things in mind, right? And you're probably thinking, does it even matter that we go to college? Last week, I was meeting with a student for another one of my classes in person. And I asked the student, because it was clear to me that they were not particularly invested in the class. And I asked the question, do you think college has had any value to you? And the answer was no. There was no hesitation in that no. There was genuine annoyance at the fact that some people do believe that college has lost its value. As a professor, that makes me incredibly sad, but as a scientist, it's not surprising. So what I want to tell you before I leave, and before I box, and before I email you, is that this class will have value for you. If you are a person of color that has been observing what's been happening in politics, and these courses about fake news and why people that claim to love you sometimes support candidates that definitely do not love you, you can look at cultivation theory. You can look at social cognitive theory. You can look at all of these theories and all of these representations in media and say, you know what? If for 25 years, the only thing I've seen in the news is how criminal Mexicans are, and I have never met a Mexican in my life, it's kind of a natural result that when my brain hears Mexico, the first connection that it makes is crime. I've made videos explaining that for this class. I've given you documents. I've proven to you via documentaries as well that other people have done research on this, right? So it's not that these people are particularly evil or that they are particularly hateful. It's that media and psychology and human nature kind of make it impossible for people like that to not think of Mexicans as criminals. Does that justify violence against Mexicans? No. But if we truly want to have better conversations about how we change that, it's not by ostracizing these people, and it's not by shutting down debate, unfortunately. It's by realizing that media has been priming people to believe that skin color equals crime, unfortunately. And that female bodies are emotional rather than rational, unfortunately. And that trans bodies don't exist, which is why people think that they're not normal. If we were brought up in a world where trans was normal and visible and everywhere, we wouldn't even be questioning whether or not they should exist or have rights. So what do we do as media consumers? We demand better. What do we do as media professionals? If you're in communication, we produce better. And if you're not a person of color, if you're not a trans individual, if you're not somebody who experiences these kinds of marginalizations, then why would you benefit from this class? Well, because now you know why you may think the way you do. And if you go back to that reading on narcissism, then you understand how important it is that you don't take it personally every time someone says white people. So this class really was designed to give you value. And I hope that the last 2 assignments that I have in mind, that I have created, and that I'm in the process of finalizing, crafting, after I'm done boxing to make sure that my brain is where it needs to be, proves to you that I have never planned to give you busy work or work that will not become useful for your life. So anyway, if you still cannot see yourself in any of those 2 groups, at the very least, what I want you to take away in this class is that when you feel tired and when you feel drained and when you feel like whatever you do is just not enough and you're always tired, and it doesn't matter if you take the weekend off, you're still tired. It's not that you're lazy, it's capitalism. So I hope that you've learned something in this class. I'm going to be back in a few minutes, and you'll hear from me soon. Bye.